What's up, Warriors? It's Goku. Welcome back to another Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires video. So a few words here real quick. I am pre-recording the gameplay, so that's why I'm doing commentary after the fact. So, yeah, because I wanted to do the big brain thing of doing that instead of, like I did with Maiko, instead of just trying to go through it and possibly have a software issue, because I've been having a lot of OBS problems lately, and I'm actually, like, about to get fed up with it. But, yeah. So here we go, guys. So this is Shenei. I have shown her off a couple times in videos, but I never really got to introduce her fully. So this is, I think, the time to do it. Also, this is a themed video. This video is my best girls going up against all of the playable character girls in Dynasty Warriors 8. So, yeah, you're going to see a lot of girl-on-girl action. Hot. But yeah, so like I said, this is Shenei. This is the daughter of Chinusuke, who is the leader / ruler of the Heiwa army, as well as the daughter of Sinon, a character I need to show off soon. But in both her and Sinon, Shenei and Sinon, are pretty much my most physically strongest characters in the story. Like, almost hill-shattering strength is the kind that Sinon and Shenei have. Now, at the point that you're looking at her right now, yes, Shenei is a little bit interesting compared to other people because of her eyes and her black hair, which is not actually a thing in her family at all, because everyone else in her family rocks brunette hair, but because of circumstances, she actually has black hair and blue and red eyes because she is actually also part mystic. So I will go more in depth with that maybe later on, because there are a big amount of spoilers that I don't want to give away just right off the bat. But at the beginning, she is just fully human, but then eventually she ends up going through changes where she ends up becoming half human, half mystic. So yeah, she ends up becoming a halfling. So part of me was eventually going to make her a hybrid, but I ended up scrapping that completely because, one, hybrids are supposed to be really, really rare in my story, so that's why I'm kind of like, I was on the fence with her. And I wanted her to not just be like another hybrid, I wanted her to be a very powerful halfling. So that's why I ended up making her just half mystic, half human. So yeah. So she is pretty much just takes, in terms of personality and everything, she ends up taking so much after her father in terms of being a loving, caring person. Ends up being a very loving and caring wife towards Light, and then ends up being a very loving and caring, I guess, kind of sister towards Harna as well. So the three of them end up having such an inseparable bond, and Shenei at points is technically the glue that keeps them all together. Now, of course, whenever she's not around, of course, that doesn't mean Light and Harna butt heads all the time. It's mostly around towards the beginning of the story where Harna is pretty much just the glue that keeps them together, keeps them in line and everything like that. She can be stern like her mother, but she just learns how to be calm and caring and loving towards them both, to help them get closer with one another as well. So she helps keep the tension from going up way too high, pretty much. So she really is a very, very integral character into those two also like growing in their relationship. And yes, I know, if you guys have seen Harna, yes, she is also the wife of Light, but I promise you it is not because he's a playboy. Literally, circumstances with Shenei actually is the cause of them being is the cause of them having both Harna and Shenei as wives, and all three of them living together. And that just shows how amazing they are as sisters, like sisterly love. I mean, they're not legitimately blood, Harna and Shenei, but they are like they grow this sister relationship to where they're perfectly okay with being together with Light. Because when I do this story, I don't try to make this like this awkward harem bullshit that I see in so many animes. The thing with this one is I really want this to be a heartwarming kind of like three-person relationship, which I've seen happen, and I'm like, all right, if that can happen in real life, I'm going to make that happen in this story. So in no ways do I make this awkwardly kinky or anything like that. I really try to make this heartwarming. Like, I don't make this awkward in many situations that a lot of anime do. For instance, they could all casually just chill out in a bathtub together completely nude, and they'd be cool with it. I know that's an interesting thing to bring up, but literally, that's just how they are. They really don't care. They are just that close. They're more of like best friends and everything, which is why they're all okay with doing like what other people would find awkward. They're cool with doing it together. So I try my best to make it so this three-person relationship marriage doesn't get awkward, because these two, Harna and Shenei, wanted nothing more than for both of them to be happy, and of course they want to make Light happy as well. And when Shenei came back into the picture, I'll say, after Harna and Light became a thing, because Shenei went away. We'll say that. Shenei went away for a very long time in a very unfortunate circumstance. If you can figure out what I'm saying by that, then good on you. But eventually, Shenei ends up going away in a very unfortunate situation. and then ends up coming back later on when Light and Harna have already technically tied the knot. But because of an arranged marriage, Light and Shenei were already married, but never technically split until that unfortunate event. But once Shenei came back into the picture, all three of them pretty much were just like, you know what, let's see if we can make this work. They tried to see if they can make it work. And I'm going to show that there's going to be some parts where it's like, it's a little, not awkward, but it's like, it's tough to do a three-person relationship. But because of how close they all are and all three of their relationship, not just them with Light, but between Harna and Shenei as well, because like I said, they are like inseparable sisters at this point. And they eventually end up making it work out, and they ended up becoming a very happy trio of a relationship in a marriage. And I decided to part in a story where they're like, Shenei and Harna technically marry one another. They don't do anything with one another. It's mostly just their relationship with Light, and they're just mostly like just the sisterly bond that they always have. But they do a joke. I'd want to do a jokingly thing in the story where Shenei and Harna technically marry one another, air quotes. So where it's like, okay, so now even they're with one another, so it feels like kind of less awkward. But yeah, so it's something where it's definitely a bit of a, like, I know once if people see that, it's going to be like, wow, that's really questionable. But at the same time, I'm going to make it to where it's not like anything like that. Because this story that I'm making is nothing relative to anything like that with kinky bullshit that you see in anime and awkward harem shit. But yeah, so this is pretty much, so Harna, wow. Sorry, I mentioned so much of them both. But like I mentioned, Shenei really ends up being a big part of like Light for his story, because it helps him grow into being more of a person who is comfortable with humans. Because like I said at first, Shenei is a complete pure human, but technically one of the most powerful humans. But nonetheless, she is a very powerful human in terms of physical strength. Not much skill, but mostly in strength. But she really does help the development of both Light and Harna. They both go through a huge amount of development in the story, thanks to Shenei, because of how much of a this is where I come with the nickname a heart of platinum. She literally has a heart of platinum. She literally takes that from her father. Of course her mother does have that as well, but Shenei, I keep saying Harna, Jesus Christ. But Shenei ends up just being much more of a pure platinum hearted person, even more than her own father ends up being down the line. So like I said, she is just someone who just ends up touching the hearts of almost any person that like encounters her. So she touches the heart of Light, she touches the heart of Harna, she touches the light of even Chiyusuke, which is where they become really, really close friends. So that's another sisterly bond that she has. And for those of you who are unaware, Chiyusuke is is a character who is the younger sister of Scene, who is another character I showed up in the backstories. I'll be sure to put a playlist down so y'all can see all the backstories if you want to. But like I mentioned, she has literally just been an ideal kind of wife to Light. She's been an ideal kind of sister to Harna. She's been an ideal friend to Chiyusuke. Like, she has just been, like I said, she is literally that heart of platinum. She will help anyone. She can be a bit of an airhead. She can be a bit oblivious to certain things, which is at times why she has the armor that she does. There is points where I, like, show off sex appeal and everything, and this is one of those circumstances where Shenei herself doesn't really care or pay attention to that kind of, like, sex appeal kind of thing, which is why she doesn't mind having out, you know, her breasts hanging out. But yeah, she becomes the kind of oblivious airhead at times too, that really helps bring a bit of comic relief to her character as well. So literally, I feel like she is one of my most favorite characters just because of how purely, like, pure-hearted she is. I love it to death. And she doesn't go through much character development herself. It's mostly when they kind of struggle with the relationship between her, Harna, and Light. But aside from that, she doesn't really get that much character development because she's already a character who's gotten great development, and she just has a pure heart and all that. I love her to death. She is such a lovable character. I can't get over that. She literally, like I said, that's the nickname I gave for her, the Heart of Platinum. I just think it's the perfect nickname for her because she is just that caring and loving. But all right, I'm kind of running out of things to say for her right now because there isn't much to say unless I go into spoilers with my story, and I don't want to do that, honestly. So this is where, so you pretty much just get a rough idea of her personality, how she is and everything like that, and what kind of role she does play in the story, which is a very, very important one. Like, she does have key moments where she ends up fighting, like, really tough opponents and everything, and she ends up being, she's not useless, I'll say. She's not useless in a battle. Yes, she has that brute strength. She lacks skill from time to time, but she is literally my most powerful character in my story, 100%. Like I said, hill-shattering. And that is without doing any crazy, like, I guess we could say transformations or something like that, because there are kind of things like that in this story, with, like, Light going hybrid mode, with Harna going QB mode and all that stuff. So it is a thing with transformations. She doesn't have transformations. She doesn't go from like just being straight up human to straight up mystic or anything like that. Literally, she is just that strong of a character, along with her mother. But yeah, all right, guys. So I think this is a good way to wrap it up. So I'll just let the rest of the gameplay go on here. I hope you all do enjoy checking out her kicking ass or getting her ass kicked at this point, because I was having some points where I was getting my ass kicked. But I hope you all did enjoy the showcase of Harna, as well as the backstory for her. If you did like her, then be sure to hit that like button. Comment down below as well your thoughts on Shenei. And of course, if you're new to the channel, then be sure to hit that sub button. And let me know down in the comments as well if you want to see more of these showcases / backstories be shown off more frequently. Because now that I don't plan on doing more scheduled stuff right off the bat, I want to be able to do that. And now that we're going to have a break for Fanlore Friday after this week, I'm going to be able to show off characters more often. So if you want to see, like, maybe that be replaced with Fanlore Friday for now, be replaced with my characters' backstories, then be sure to let me know about that. So, all right, guys. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Farewell.